You're now tuning in to Sesh Fury, Wake and Bake. What?
We moved deeper into the communist state day by day. I was just doing my job. I started in the force about 5 years ago and got promoted up the ranks. It's nice not to have to wear a uniform. Plain clothes were a joy. But I didn't expect this. The monitoring, surveying, having to enforce social distancing, counting the numbers within buildings and checking the certificates. It had become all about the certification, and the black market had grown bigger than ever. But I had consented. I had joined the force to follow the crown, even though I knew it should be questioned. Anyway, I had my own life to think about, and that's what mattered now. We all knew that the new set of rules and restrictions were ludicrous, but we had to go along with it. The pay rise helped, and there were a lot of perks. We had our own parties. Who knows? Hopefully I'll get that Tesla soon. Even though we saw the data didn't add up and the contradictions were forever ongoing, we knew that the new restrictions were protecting the bigger guys. It wasn't all bad though. I mean, I sometimes got a little thrill when I could shut the place down. I felt bigger than the landlords. On my rounds I would sometimes get a few backhanders from owners who wanted to stay open extra hours or broke the allowed numbers. Met a few faces. The ladies were nice. Not a bad gig really. Had the marshals give me the best areas to do, and where most people stood maskless. I only had to wait a few hours, and I racked up a lot of fines. The sergeant was always happy. It felt good. He said, I should be getting a call from one of the higher up guys soon, which means more profitable business for me. Live events had stopped, and authority had become the centre stage. Authority was the new celebrity. Socialism had become fascism, and it was bridging us closer to the communist regime. I played my part, knowing that we weren't leading anywhere good, but in these barbaric times, I just wanted to get the job done and get home. What could I do? If I didn't do it, someone else would. If I kept my head down, I wouldn't be affected. This will pass and society will hopefully come back to something like it used to be. But will it? I'm sure it will. Give it 5 years and I'll have my house in the country completely paid for. Life will get easier.
Good morning, Dave.
Hello.
Woo. Your attention has been brought to me because of your committed attention to the force.
Yes, sir. Sergeant said you'd be
We
calling.
need some groups infiltrated. There is a huge resistance forming in the city.
Yes, sir.
And we need you to get involved in the group.
Yes, sir. I like a challenge.
It's a huge undertaking, but you will be rewarded with protection and anything else
Yes, sir.
you require. The group is dangerous, and there is questioning has led to rebellious actions all over the city. You must follow the order to the letter.
Yes, sir.
We are following you and listening to everything you say. You must, from this point, follow our order.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the call. The world was messed up before this, and now we're in so deep. What does it matter now? We live one life, so we have to make the most of it. Communism is only created from our obsession with the human ego. But none of that mattered, as I was the only important one now. The world we were entering didn't give the individual any significance. So I am just taking what I can get. Any self-expression will soon cease to exist.
Welcome, outcast. Oh, welcome, no emotions.
The one thing I ask people who go into these places is, do you value yourself? How do you value your life? Or are you just looking for the quick fix?
And getting stoned too. I'm up in the top corner. Hi, everybody.
A dark intelligence had taken over every aspect of people's lives. Most didn't even have a reason to go out. Their apartments had become their hive, their way of communication. Synthetic interaction had become the norm, but it made it easier for us to find the outsiders. They were usually not wearing the masks, wandering or daydreaming in the street. Usually a creative type of some sort. These individuals wore a bit of colour. They were the non-compliant types, and are a danger to our communities. They will not comply. I played the game and it kept me in control of the dice.
Thank you for making me
kicks
aware
in
of my
these
volume
resistors.
issues. No
Hunting them
emotions.
down.
My
preying on
computer
their
doesn't
fear.
like me doing lives.
I like to play hide and seek with
It
them.
resets
I mean,
itself
I'm a nice
randomly.
guy. I can fit in well, but at the end of the day, I couldn't give a shit. The rules were in place only to test people's levels of tolerance. It was never about science, just psychological manipulation, to see how people would react and make way for new rules. It made me laugh the way people were just submitted and, in a way, I kind of like the ones who resisted. But they were dumb. They hadn't figured it out. Anyway,
I have a ghost in the
I'm staying
machine
safe
that
on
likes
the
to
winning
fuck
side.
with my volume.
I've made
I
more
can't
money
complain
than
if it
last
only
year,
fucks with my
and I've
volume.
done most of my life. So this is the place these guys hang out. Nice. Clever. Must be one of the only places on the planet now that you can't be traced. I wonder if the Guinness Book of World Records is still going.
are looking for a couple.
Yes, sir.
But we need them located. We can't track them on the system. They are in the compound. We are sending you their profiles.
Can I have backup? Only if needed, of course, sir.
You are being tracked and monitored, Tony. We know where you are. Follow our order. We will send
Yes,
you
sir.
locations of their groups.
She looks pretty hot. I wonder if she's single. And this, he's a troublemaker. He's been on the run for years. I wonder if I'll get more for bringing him in. Most people have been removed, or been moved into the high-rise where the patrols kept everyone in. But we were the ones living the high life. Serving the system gave us as much freedom as we could get. The brainwashing and the lies had been set into society. The mind had been taken over. It made our job easier. People policed themselves. None of our gang cared. We just switched off and got on with it. This looks like the place. I can smell them. What puzzled me is how easy people adapted to the changes. They just went with it. Back to normal, they said. 3 years later, and we're still here.
We're in
And I'm one of
year
the few
2,
in
folks.
society that
Remember
work.
this. This
So I
is only
deserve
a
respect.
story, but we're in year 2 right
Once the
now.
protests were completely banned and the military came in, I finally got my time off, which was perfect. But these guys weren't backing down, and they had to be dealt with. Their fractured resistance couldn't carry on, and it had to be stopped. We were on a cliff edge, and too much was at stake. We had to push through with their agenda. This is the world you choose for me to be in. I was just a pawn playing my part, so why should I care? Do you care about the reality that's ahead of you? Or do you deny the truth that surrounds you?
We had to create a resistance, but getting into groups made us more visible.
Jack, I need you to keep quiet, okay? I need you to keep quiet.
I'm one of you. Oh, mate.
I'm one of you. One of us. I ain't one of nobody. What's with all the masks then?
We're on the run.
The system's collapsed.
Everything's gone.
How the hell did you end up here then?
Had a little setup. The drones raided us. This is Cordy. And I'm Arthur.
Alright. Let's just get one thing straight, yeah? You don't know me and I don't know you. So let's just keep it that way, yeah?
Oh, mate. I need to be like that. Everyone's trying to make their way.
Yeah, well, What do you expect? Bursting in like that, brandishing swords and wearing masks?
Listen, mate, we need somewhere to stay. And then we'll be gone. Everywhere's closed up.
And there's drones flying about everywhere like crazy.
Here, come and sit over here.
Their power was expanding while we kept stumbling on our own fears. People were not in the moment, staying frozen in their personal and past traumas. Now, the pain had lifted from the collective shadow and surfaced for the world to see.
Take off your mask. Take your mask off. I'm Jara, by the way. It's nice to meet you both. So you were saying about where you were before?
Yeah, we had a little number. Space under the bar for about 6 months. We went out looking for food, and they spotted us. Yeah, right, Cordy.
Doesn't sound so bad living under a bar. Probably had plenty to drink.
It's a complete nightmare. I lost my business, trying to arrest me for not paying my bills. It was real hell. My Joy's my boy. When we completely leave the city, we've got someone new.
I mean, the M25 is completely rigged with this AI. There's no getting out on there.
How long have you been running for?
Ages. I was in a camp, and then the camp got raided. They took everything, all our stuff, and they captured a few people. I managed to get out, and then I came to one of the city compounds, and then I found Kane. He was in one of the city compounds.
What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
I don't know, I guess we'll just wait and see.
How's that going to happen with the elite gone?
The elite, aren't they supposed to work for us?
I hear what you say, love, but no, the world is gone.
Alright, so what are you going to do? It's not a good idea that you say it. The heat trackers are going to get all of our heat signatures and we're going to get caught. And I ain't going to take that risk again.
All right, friend. What's your name? Look, I'm a pretty good cook. A few things in my bag. I'm going to cook us a meal. And then we'll be on our way tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just have some food and chill out while we can.
You think that's just going to be all right for one night? This is going to be a little perfect night where there are no police circling around and we're not going to get caught? And they're going to find us, and I can't take that risk again. You've got to go. Look, mate, this isn't a fucking game. Life isn't going to get any better with you lot around. Look, I'm sorry. Look, this ain't anything personal, but you've got to go.
Kane, stop. This is too much now.
No, it's too much. You're too much, Jara. You're far too much. This whole thing is too much.
I thought I was your friend.
Well, we are. Well, we were. But I'm sorry,
Good morning, Chrissy.
I can't do
Whoop,
this with
whoop.
people that just don't get it.
I'm
I've
up
been
in
on
the
my
top
own for
corner.
3 years, and I was fine. And then suddenly you came along. I didn't ask you to come with me. You didn't have to come with me, but you did.
Form of resistance. Strength in numbers. We can take them.
Yeah. But every time I meet people, they fuck it up. Maybe you're right, but we're divided already. What, you think there's enough of us to do this?
Kane, please, we need more people. We can't just do it, the two of us.
Do this? I mean, what are you gonna do? The whole system was designed to collapse and humans along with it. And if you ain't out of here, then I'm fucking out of here. Because I ain't taking the risk, and you can live in your nice little pantomime and all that shit. But guess what? Fuck it. I'm out. I'm out of here.
We're leaving. Come on, mate.
Oh. So this is what it's come to, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. You just don't get it. Any of you.
Kane. Kane!
because we believed that forming groups would create change. Yes, we needed numbers, but people's individual brain patterns had created a distortion within reality. Most had not done the self-work.
We have an
so
overtime
inevitably working together
show
would only lead to
today.
more separation.
This is series 3,
Do you
all the
transform your inner
episodes
traumas?
of Storytime.
Where do you resist change in your life? Can
And
you
it
take
being
full
a complete
responsibility for that
series,
part
I
that you
decided
play?
to do a switch with the video.
The tyranny was not going to stop till every small business was shut down. 4 years on, and you might have thought people would have realised that the never-ending lockdowns were just part of the agenda. But people kept compliant, including most of the business owners who surprisingly didn't question what was happening. What would it take for humanity to realise what was going on? I couldn't believe that people didn't clock on to the biggest giveaway of them all. The huge stream of money that poured into the economy out of nowhere. Surely that was the giveaway. Anyway, it was easy for us to close businesses at the corporation because the fear had set in strong. People were completely frozen, silenced and muffled by their own guilt as they saw society collapse around them. We knew what was happening, and we kept together, doing what we had to do. It felt good knowing we were united, and in my role, I felt empowered.
You want outside? It's
I am
still
just getting
ugly
what I
out
can
there.
while I can. I've got a 2-bedroom flat in Shoreditch. There's a nice gym around there, and I'm moving up the ranks. I'm surrounded by men, and I'm comfortable with that. Some of them look hot all suited and booted, so what's not to like? I should be able to buy a place back home as well, and rent it out, bring in some extra income. It might be nice to get it for the summer, actually. Hopefully, I'll land the perfect assignment.
Today's weather window forecast. It
Even though
snowed.
lockdowns never work, and all the data is there telling us so.
It's
The media did a
approximately
great job of
0,
brainwashing people to be
minus
convinced
1
otherwise.
right now. But
We
yeah,
got away with
I
murder,
woke
literally.
up, Dixie woke
There were
up,
more
it
suicides
was
and
snowing
breakdowns than
out.
ever before. It was bleak times. But for us in our positions of authority, we had the life of luxury. People would never believe that they actually wanted to close small businesses. I'd always been envious of people who took the leap and set up business on their own. I never had it in me. I always wanted to, but I'm very good at my job, and this pays better in the long run. The guys were saying the higher-ups will be resetting the system in some way. That's why the economy is being shut down. But it shouldn't affect me, should it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I closed up 10 businesses today. I know the owner's not happy, but I'm very chuffed with myself. It was hard work with all the monitoring, assessments and form filling, but I always felt complete at the end of the day. I wonder how Tony's doing. Oh, hey babe.
Alicia, how you doing, love?
Yeah, I'm good. I heard about that big job in the city, in the pub. I'm gonna go and check it out.
Yeah. I've got a couple of vigilantes who are headed for the suburbs.
So, when are you coming over?
Once I'm done with these, I want to take some time off. I'm in one of the compounds at the moment. Interesting place.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna be in the city later anyway.
Maybe I can pop over after I've scouted out.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, love. You take care.
Okay. Bye, babe. Bye. The tyranny was the outcome of a passive society. So why were people getting angry? Society followed rules outlined by the media channels, government and big business, and they were confused by the extreme measures when they were imposed. What did people expect? You could say I was doing their dirty work, but I was satisfied with my part. I had a good life, and they were the ones living a lie. They couldn't understand how the system had to shift, and without something catastrophic, it never could. Will you create the shift in your life, or do you want to return to a normality that never even existed?
It was a silent war on the mind, and dividing people was the greatest tactic. Psychologically breaking people's views and fracturing unity amongst humans made it more and more difficult for us to coexist with each other. But they were always forgetting the uniqueness and power of the true human. When we begin to realise what we are capable of, we can overthrow anything that violated us. He's gone.
He's done a runner. That boy's crazy. And if he comes back, I'm going to slap his pretty face.
Kane's all right, yeah? Kane's all right. We've just all had a lot of shit going on at the moment.
You're telling me?
Where did Cordy go?
We'll have to get some bits.
Okay, well, why don't we just make some food? I'm sure Kane will be back. I honestly don't know where else he's going to go.
Yeah. So you say there's more resistance. Where are they staying?
Yeah, they're in the city compounds mainly, and underground stations mainly. I mean, you know the whole city is rigged with surveillance, right?
What do you know about the resistance?
Well, I know that there are lots of groups, little groups, and there is a small group of these tech guys, and they remove their visual identities so they can blend in with everyone else, and they don't get tracked, they don't get traced, they can just get on with life as normal. Well, the closest to normal that we could probably get right now.
So they got in the AI?
Don't you get it? It's all about algorithms. They've been collecting our data for years. They're just waiting for the right time to fight back.
Fight back? But how?
Shouldn't Cordy be back soon?
You went back to the city?
I went to the city. He's not going to be back for days.
It's just the two of us then. Don't worry, I'll look after you. He knows a shortcut. He won't be long.
I'm all right, mate. I've looked after myself for enough time now. Been all right on my own for a while, thanks.
It's been a silent war, eh? From the farce of democracy and the insane theatrics of politics and the increase of divide and rule. And I'm sick of it. Over the years, they cut our licences, giving us limitations to the bar. And boom! They started the pandemic and took fucking everything.
Well, exactly, because my mum, she's been in one of those homes, right? And I don't know what they're feeding her, but she can't even remember her own name.
My boy Cordy, he don't speak much, so I'm trying to bring him out of his shell.
It's a psychological war. It's a psychological war, and those of us that didn't want to get up and join in on the pantomime, we have had to create our own story.
So what's the story then? You got any drinking now?
Whoa, chill out, mate. Here.
All right, love, let's see the cheekiness. Wasn't released from this madness.
Go and release yourself over there. They have broke us, but only because we chose not to look at who we are. Under the hypnotic spell, people silenced themselves and caved into the lies they were fed. It's what they had followed, what they had believed in. How could they change now, after everything they've consented to? It was hard not to blame them, but it really just made me angry. If only people could have fucking woken up and realised what was happening, we might not have had to go down this demonic rabbit hole. But I am here now, and this is what matters. All right, I'm hanging out with this nutter in a shed with drones flying around, but I'm alive. Kane, you idiot. Now is not the time to be off on your own. Hey, got you some food.
Thanks, love. That's nice. I need this.
So, what was your bar like then? Did you have live music and stuff like that?
Yeah, we had it all. Stand up, live music, some great musicians. Some real laughs with some good people. Oh, those were the days. The licensees kept smashing us every time. People surrendered. People just gave in.
It's like a mass hypnosis, wasn't it? And I often wonder who's more to blame. Is it the people who instigated it, or is it the people who willingly just followed?
I should have world of followers, love. I've had to deal with that most of my life, especially in this London neighbourhood.
Probably quite good being a landlord then.
Yeah, had its days. But it's all gone to shit now. Just a foreign property swoop of overpriced flats. Fucking London property, it's just fucking shit. Or prison camps.
Top 30, we late, folks.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, somewhere over the rainbow.
A silent war had fell upon us. There was more than enough of us, but we had been divided in our belief. It wasn't until the media channels broke down, people started awakening to the truth. But by that time, it was too late. The networks and grids had gone down, which sent people into panic. We had answers within us, but we denied it through our own silence. Life is there to be expressed and speak our truth. Do you speak truth in all parts of your life, not just where it's easy to? Where do you keep the lies locked up in your life? Where do you remain silent, and when will you start to speak up?
I felt trapped. I was isolated. I came to London to connect with people and to live the party life. Lockdowns were meant to be over in 3 weeks, but they just closed everything up permanently. Most of the clubs and bars were shut down or sold up after a couple of years for flat renovations. But to sell to who? Who's going to buy here now? Even when lockdowns were partially lifted, people just stayed in. The whole culture and heritage of a city became destroyed by lies. Meeting in public and any social activity became illegal because of the pandemic. Most found isolation easier when talking through technology. But I thought it was insane that people just went along thinking this was social interaction. I didn't speak much. Maybe I said the odd word when I played Call of Duty. That's why I liked the mask, it kept me hidden. I didn't need to express myself. It suited me perfectly and I liked the way it looked. I got used to being alone. My dad was always too busy in the bar. On the surface he was very social, but I knew the real person behind the laughter. After my mum and dad split up, he was constantly trying to avoid the debt collectors. We only started talking when we had to go on the run. He owed them so much money and we had to get out from the business, but the truth is my dad's an arsehole and I was just waiting for the right time to leave him. His actions only came from his own guilt. I mean, he was there for me, but I know he would do the same to me and walk away at any time. I'll get the final say this time, Dad. You have yet to hear me speak. Most people thought I was mental, but I'd just gotten used to being quiet. It became my way to be around people. Forced isolation had made me more edgy. I thought I was a calm person, but when I got fearful, I seemed to get aggressive. It must have come from my dad, I suppose, but what do I do about it? Mum would understand. I miss her so much. Started boarding up houses and left it all to ruins when I moved to London. 6 people in the village committed suicide and many more died. They gave up. That was not the answer. I knew I was becoming stronger through understanding this world. There was a lot to handle, but I knew this was an experience like no other, and I could see something changing. What I came to realize was that this wasn't happening outside of me, but within me. A questioning of my soul, my integrity, the truth of who I am. I don't know exactly what this is right now, but I could feel I was getting closer to answers. Through isolation came an inner peace which helped me ask questions about myself. I could see a new reality taking shape. We're meeting others, and the resistance is growing stronger. We can use this human experience to make us fall or stand up strong to what is in front of us. In isolation, I became trapped in my own belief structure, but when I took action in the world, my voice became stronger. Where do you walk silent in your life? How do you stand the challenges that you are faced with? Or do you allow your negative self-belief to take over the reality that is in front of you?
Society had become divided. Families fell apart because of the conflicting views due to the pandemic. The media had brainwashed people with lies, and we allowed it. People desired it. They were hungry like candy for it. But I saw the bullshit. My parents passed when I was a child, so I've always had to look after myself. My friends had turned into something else, led by the spell that the cult had cast on society. Social media had been programming people's beliefs and identities for years, and now they formed their social circles. People lived within algorithms without even knowing, or even caring. How little people knew about how the tech world worked. We were left divided, and people's constant arguments had separated the unique bond of humanity. The ones that did not want to be part of the experiment chose the human spiritual path. It was more challenging, but it led to a deeper knowing of the greater self. We live within a reality of choice. Humans are free, but have chose to live in a prison world. Even though it may be unclear for some, we are all awakening on different levels, with a few of us who can see what lies ahead. There is so much possibility, and human energy is extremely powerful in overcoming most, if not all, obstacles it faced. When will we all realize that we have the power to create reality at a rapid speed? We had let the passport become the way of life, the only way to gain entry to this fragmented world, but it was only because people went along with the agenda. People thought they didn't have a choice. Society attempted to reopen, but it had changed. People's psychology had been manipulated over the constant and never-ending lockdowns. On one level, it became a sad life. The misery would eventually lead to a brighter reality. Well, it had to, right? There's that guy from the yard. I wonder if he's following me. What's he up to? We had a fractured resistance because many within it still had mixed concepts of reality, and more of a self-interest when creating a new world. Of course, we honour the self, but we need to have emphasis on the collective. I had gotten used to trusting my guts, and when I feel something or someone is not right, I listen and I move on. And especially when those around me may not agree, I trust I will find connections of the true and highest value. I saw how friends, artists and creatives held back their voices until their theories became a reality. By then, it was too late. Positive thinking is good for our energy, but not hollow wishful thinking. There is a better way, a stronger way. We must act, we must stand up in our true integrity in every moment. This force was not going to stop, and it needed our attention and our action. The human ego was creating the true divide between humanity, with the outside reality consistently distorting our inner perceptions.
When we were led down rabbit holes dimming the reality around us,
I
it led
know.
us to distrust our
I felt
We've
that
always been
since
in
I
this human
changed my
experiment
format
under a
around
control that
a couple
goes
months
very,
ago,
very deep. But ultimately,
putting the faces to the voices
this
would be
whole
very
reality
helpful.
is way beyond their
So
control.
that's why I'm doing what
As
I'm
it is
doing today.
Holographic. It is our job to understand the dynamics of its geometry and work within it. Through the energy of our creator, the higher truth will always prevail.
As
both
in
outside
Series
of us
3,
and
they
within
added
us,
some new characters.
with a unity that's finally free from duality. We live a short life, and the importance of our journey is to unlock the soul's potential. So we move our consciousness into a higher vibrational state. It's only then that we can create the world of our dreams. But first, we must ask ourselves about our own personal truths. Do you trust your instincts? Do you honor your own personal truth in all aspects of your life? Or do you keep your light dimmed because of the fear and pain of what you might lose?
Thank you. It took all day to download yesterday.
We had to arrest them all so we can move to the next stage. Then I'll finally get promoted and get that Tesla delivered. I need a holiday as well. Anyway, this is looking like the place. Low key, nice layout.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah. Leave it at the shrooms. I love you,
What are
Mum.
you talking about? I'm not your mum. I think we might have something quite serious on our hands, something quite bad. Tia, can you wake up?
You mean something bad? Oh, shit. You're right, that could be Cordy.
He's banging on the door, though.
Don't worry, I'll protect you. I'll take him out. What the fuck are you doing?
Yep,
Just need a place to
exactly.
I need to get out of sea and heard this was a good place.
Why are you bursting through doors, making more noise? The drones will be here in a minute.
Range coming from you, Arthur. You and your son broke the door when you arrived.
It's cool. It's all clear out there. Just let me rest. I'll be gone in the morning.
Well, I'm getting used to this becoming a madhouse.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Who the fuck do you think you are to be making that decision? Kane fucked off because of you. This is my place, not your place. Come on in. Have a seat.
Cheers. So you mean there are more of you? We should all link up. Forming a group would be stronger.
Got new clothes on. Where did you get them from? Where have you come from?
I raided a few shops and then I got chased out of the compound. I'm just seeking refuge.
So what were you doing in the compound?
I escaped out of one of the gates.
The gates? What do you mean the gates?
I mean the cells. I escaped out over the top of one of the cells.
Oh, right.
We've all been through it, mate. Had to escape the city from the fines. Smashed the business. Me and my boy are fucked.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I'll go and sort that door. My boy will be back soon. We'll be together.
Thank you. Both of you. I'll take the corner. I'll be gone in the morning.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm getting out of London. Like you guys.
Making it out to London. We can join you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You got any coffee?
This isn't Starbucks, mate. Coffee's quite a rare thing these days, but we might have water if it's not contaminated.
What about bowls?
Where have you been for the last year? Supply chain is completely blocked. Food and drink, it's basically impossible to get unless you've got a passport.
Yeah, you're right. It's been mad.
Where have I seen you before?
Dunno, gorgeous. Maybe around the sea. I've stayed low.
Weren't you in the compounds with us? There was about 100 of us and we got pounced.
Nah, I don't think so.
Weren't you there with Ethan?
Nah, wasn't me. We all need some food. Let's just sit here and relax. And hopefully bring something interesting back from the bar. But for now, beans it is.
Welcome, Savage Panda.
Where'd you get that from? What's that for?
It lets me know if anything's near.
What did it tell you? What does it alert you? Who and what?
I just tapped into the system. It's not traceable.
Did you use to help the resistance?
I did. I got separated from him. Maybe we can all find him. Now's the time to form up and fight for freedom.
But where would we find them?
Nice one getting into these.
Oh, cheers.
So you've been going incognito. So when you're in the city, how are you lying low?
I know all the back-end systems. My technology knowledge helped me understand where all the trackers were.
So your phone hacked? I just want to get out of here and live on a farm.
You will. It'll all change soon.
I'm not going to lie, but I'm a bit suspicious of you.
I'm with her, mate. I bet the times you're in, you come prancing in with your mobile phone. Don't even look real.
I'm not going into my personal business. I'm staying here and I'll be gone in the morning.
Look, neither are we, but we can't lie to each other. We have to be honest with each other.
Listen, I had someone close to me die in the city. I had to leave. I don't want to talk about it, it's still raw.
I had my whole family ripped apart.
We've all been through it. We've all had it bad.
My brother.
Right, mate. We stay out tonight, we go in the morning. But no funny business, all right?
They're suspicious of me, but the resistance always is, of anyone. I'll be off tomorrow and living my dream. I can't wait for the time off. Living incognito helped me feed the collective lies that were all around us. I knew I was contributing to the hell, but I didn't care. My ego was growing. The outcomes wouldn't affect my life. I would get what I want. Where in your life do you consider how your actions will affect the collective? Or, like me, are you self-obsessed and only consider what happens in your own life?
The fascist law enforcement walked the city, closing businesses and fining people who broke the rules. The whole system had become more corrupt than ever, with contrived events created only to build tension and conflict within the people. In these times, you could only trust yourself. Even your family fell for the psyop. Then it becomes crystal clear that it's not the leaders who are really creating this fascist dictatorship, but the people who follow it. My instinct told me that that guy Arthur was one of them, another snitch working for the mob. I'm not sure why Jarrah was so easygoing. I'm staying alone and letting this shit pass.
Hi, Alicia, come in.
Haven't got long. Thought I'd say hi. How long have you been staying here then?
Since I got rid of the pub. They all fell for it. And now I'm laying low for a while.
I got a call from head office. They won't stop ringing me.
What happened?
Those 2 businesses I shut down last week. They filed legal charges against me.
Goes with a job.
Shit, Arthur! What am I gonna do? I haven't done anything wrong.
There's a lot wrong. Just have to get on with it and do what we do best.
think they're going to come after me?
Always do. You ruin their life and have to take it out on someone.
But I haven't done anything. I mean, I'm just doing my job. It's the law.
It's not the law exactly. They just made it sound that way. Once it's all over, we'll all be safe.
But it's what the governor said.
Did he tell you to walk off a cliff? If you look like that, you're the one that's in trouble. But don't worry about it. It'll pass and you'll make your money. When this is all over, we'll be safe.
This could really mess me up. I'm in the middle of buying somewhere.
Who gives a shit? It's going to change after the reset anyway.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me you're buying into all this great reset business.
What do you think this has all been for? Don't worry, it'll all blow over and you get your place.
I get that you're rogue and you don't give a shit about most things, but this is my livelihood, Arthur.
Come on, you'll find a way to sort this out.
What should I do? Call the governor?
I wouldn't do that, it'd pull you off your jobs. If all else fails, you can say it wasn't you. You was wearing a mask, right?
Are you that blasé? Really? Do you know what? I'm fucking done. And seeing you hasn't made it any better.
Yeah, chill down.
Man, this has right pissed my day up. I'm going back to work. I've got a job to do.
It ain't be like that.
The real arseholes in this whole transition were the ones just going along the experiment and allowing the fascist enforcement to thrive. We live in a reality of infinite choice, and they had chosen to serve the cult. It was disturbing to watch so many brainwashed by evil and seeing so evidently that power and greed can only exist through the support of the collective. It was all a game. We were just playing our roles on each side. They made the rules and we played along on the stage. We can expand from or choose to restrict our own growth. It's our choice. Where in this reality do you restrict your life? Do you create unnecessary mental boundaries that suffocate your existence?
You're listening to Fred Fury Frequency on KF 420 Radio.
Societal shutdown happened as people consented to the continuous pandemics. People found it hard to accept that their leaders were lying to them. And so it led to a snowball effect of events that were of greater significance than anyone could have imagined. Denial made the dark forces stronger and allowed this experiment to move closer to the Great Reset. We just had to go along with hoping a brighter light would appear. The streets of London had become bare. Nothing was left. All those beautiful buildings left to ruin. Society was destroyed within 5 years. How could people accept this? How did they let this happen?
Psycho! Just coming in to see what you're doing. Where's Jarrah? Where's your dad? They're back where I left them. Look, are you mute or something? Can you just fucking talk? I know we've been through a lot, mate, but we've got to speak. When did she go? Look, mate, don't worry, I'm not here to make friends. Is she okay?
Hello? Is anyone there? Right, what's all that noise in here then? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Corby? Corby? I know you're here. Come out your hiding place. You know why I'm here. I'm here for the money, the fines. Charlie Alpha 1 to control. Just reported in, I'm at City Arms, EC1M, London.
Roger, 34, 34 command.
There's no need to send the team in. This is an easy one.
Roger, it's on your screen.
Over. Cordy, come out. You know why I'm here. The fines, the money, pay up. Are you there, Cordy? I know you're there, Cordy. You might as well get up and show yourself. Come on, there's no point in hiding. I know you're there. Oh, there you are, Cordy. Yeah, I've got some news for you. Your dad has passed the pub on to you. That means you are responsible for everything. All the bills and all the fines. The current fine that I've come to collect is 320 grand. So, can you pay today? You know, all those not paying and, you know, bailiff's bills and stuff like that. It's accumulated. So, you going to pay up today? Are you even able to pay today? If you're not able to pay today, you're going to have to come away with me. Now. What's wrong? Covered. Assistance required.
What the fuck have you done now?
On your screen.
It's insane. What have you done?
Look, my dad is an arsehole. He's kept me prisoner all my life. He's tortured me. He's threatened me. And now he's left me alone. For that girl.
Oh, so he's alone there with her right now? Okay, we need to go right now.
No shortcut.
Well, better get out of here because no doubt they'll be on their way.
Society shut down due to our lack of participation in it. If we wanted society to happen, we had to make it happen and express ourselves within it. Reality is what we make of it, and it is by our choice. Are you an active participant in society? Or do you sit on the fence waiting for this reality to be created for you?
I like to think I'm an active participant.
We became the fugitives. We were shamed and thrown out of society. But we had integrity, and we were not going to submit to the life they wanted for us.
Thank God we got away from him. It'd be better just the two of us.
Look, thanks for that, yeah, but I can look after myself, okay? Let's just find Kane now.
Look, we'll do it my way. You might not like it, but it's the best way.
Arthur, you should know there are two sides to every story by now, right? Let's just go and find Kane, yeah? Look, Kane told me about that place.
What, he knows about that then?
Yeah, I think it's some sort of processing plant or something.
Nah, I think it's a little bit darker than that.
What happens in there then?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
This is a weird, sick world. And do you realise they're using our blood for cloning experiments? So this would be a world of biogenetics soon enough.
I mean, what kind of a human would think of something like that? It has to be like an alien or something, right?
Ah, fuck it. Let's go and rest over here.
No, mate. We're going to find Kane now. All right, I'm just going to go on my own then.
Look, we just chilled down on the speed.
No, Arthur, we need to find Kane. What the fuck was that? You've got a fucking phone. I knew it. I knew there was something dodgy about you. I saw the way that you and Tony were together. You knew each other. I saw the way you guys were just so chilled out. I knew that you knew him. You're one of them.
I'm getting a little closer. Can get you out of this. Jorah! Come back here! Now! Jorah! You know you're better on my side. There you are.
Mental note.
Just where
this is a story. Only people. These people can only jog.
Can you me doing the ass kicking?
Fuck off!
Hey!
Where did you come from?
I've come from one of the camps.
What's that?
I can't make it past the perimeter.
You can't get out.
I can show you the way, but I can't come with you.
You've got that on.
If I can save you, but they're everywhere. We've got to go now. I can't come any further, but that's the way to safety.
We were led into the darker world because we let the twisted logic run away from the true reality. This was a time to face the truth within ourselves, the shadow we've denied for so long and the inner demons we've chosen to ignore. Denying the shadow distorts the path, leading us to make the wrong decisions and get mixed up in the matrix of lies. We were given all the messages and information we needed. It was down to us to be truthful within ourselves. Time is running out. What are you running from in your life? What are the fears you do not face? Will you face them now?
Those unlawful acts soon led to the arrests. The ones who thought they played the system got played themselves. The general public had no idea of the corruption that happened over the years. This system was built to implode, and there was nothing anyone could have done. It was inherent in the design, the way these economic cycles worked. We just had to ride the wave and see it through.
Society had already finished long ago. But people still held onto the banks, letting the river tear them apart and pulling down others in the process. Some were tricked with false promises of riches, but they were really the ones leading us to the jaws of hell.
What is that? Whoa.
The fuck is that? It ain't working, is it?
No, it's dead. It's got no signal. But how bizarre to find it in here.
Fucking inventions. Destroyed society. They're the reason why people started a silent war on themselves.
No, it's not working. It's dead. It's got no signal. Look.
Just get rid of it. It's an evil fucking machine.
Fine, I'll get rid of it.
So what do you think's gonna happen now?
Well, there's new people in power now. And all those guilty ones are going to be put on trial. They thought they'd won. But as always, human perseverance.
So where are we gonna go now?
Just be patient. Everything's changing. I know it seems a bit dark, but tides are turning.
Right, we're in London HQ. The time is 10:30. I'm interviewing Alicia Reynolds today about the work with Dilute Solutions and her contribution to closing 663 independent businesses. Hello, Alicia. Thank you for your time. We have brought you here today with your work involved with Dilute Solutions in the past 3 years. So how did you start working for them?
Lockdown happened. I was working as a store detective before I lost the job. So I saw the ad and I applied for it. How else do you think people look for work? It was along the same lines as working as a store detective. It came with incentives and bonuses.
Bonuses?
Yeah. The more you shut businesses,
The more you close, so you were rewarded for closing businesses.
our objective was to close the businesses.
But closing the businesses was meant to protect people. It was about health.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Health reasons.
May I ask what you thought you were implementing?
I was just doing my job. I got the orders and I followed suit. Look, I can't see what this is about. Look, when do you think I can go?
Go? We have a lot more to ask you.
This is to do with Dilute Solutions. I signed a contract with them before I started the work. What else do you want me to say?
Yes, I have the contract right here. Did you read the small print? It states any employee of Dilute Solutions is solely responsible for every job. So this passes it all to you. You are legally fully responsible for every business you close.
That's strange. You mean I'm the one to blame?
Were you aware at any point that what you were doing was illegal and breaching human rights?
Look, Detective, I'm good at my job. I knew what I was doing. I was just following the orders and did what I was supposed to do, okay?
No, you did some bad things. Are you aware of the mental health, the suicides, the poverty that people are now under? Not to mention those families that have been destroyed.
I just miss my mum. She's never coming back.
I know it's tough, mate. But we have to look beyond the situation and see what's growing. And see the growth. It's the only thing that's going to keep us sane, mate.
Kane's right. We can't dwell on any shit. We just need to move forward.
Life's too short to get mixed up in a world which is run by psychopaths. We just have to see it and move on from it and build anew.
Think we'll ever get something like normal again?
Getting back to normality is the whole trick that they played on us, that they carrot dangled right in front of our eyes. Let me ask you something. Who was worse? Those who dangled it,
or those who reached out for it. See, everyone brought in their demons from the outside. And as much as the evil powers wanted to have this technocratic world, they couldn't integrate it with us. They can't. You know, all of that's outside of us. No matter what you believe in. You know, all the gods, the universes, natures, whatever you want to call it, is all of that stuff. It's law.
When the world breaks down, a new one's beginning, right?
There has to be breakdowns of some sort. It's what we've learned, it's how we've learned. And the Western world, well, it's been waiting in a bubble for years, just waiting to pop. And still there's so many levels to it that people don't understand, and they never will. That's why they're angry.
But they have nothing, and they're not happy. They have a right to be angry.
But the anger is what makes them grow. We are literally just feeding that evil with our anger. And people don't realise that it is the core of everything that's happened.
The thing is, right, everything had to be done by consent. So whether it's subconscious or conscious, the people still needed to consent. It's fundamental law.
And we were told everything. We could see everything. But people buried their head in the sand for way too long.
I'm here in London HQ. The time is 11:30. I'm interviewing Arthur Blackwell. How did you get involved with Dilute Solutions?
Well, my pub closed. Owed a lot of money. And one day they said, if you join us, we'll sort your debt out.
Whatever it takes. Would you walk off a cliff?
I'd be stupid. It was just a job. I owed more than 500 grand.
So, in that process, you managed to beat seriously injured 8 people, assaulted 3 women. How were you protecting their health? Exactly.
I had to do what I had to do.
What the fuck?
That's the weirdest shit. There's no battery in it.
It's been out of use for at least a year.
We'll soon know. Drones will be on their way. I'm done with this shit now. I haven't got the energy to run.
Maybe it's just the end of its life.
For fuck's sake, this is out of order. I can't take responsibility for that.
Everything in life has a ripple effect. Your actions destroyed communities and loved ones. People died, Alicia.
Look, this has nothing to do with me, okay? I just want to get out of here now.
Nothing to do with you. I'm sorry, Alicia, but you have been misled.
Look, detective, please, surely we can work this out. This is crazy.
Alicia Reynolds, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later rely on in court.
I can't believe this. What the hell is going on here? No, detective. Okay, no, don't.
34, will this be 34 minutes?
It's nothing to do with me. It's just a job, that's all.
Well, you are a lot to do with this. In fact, it's your responsibility. You have become a criminal, and you have no one to answer to but yourself.
What are you talking about? I was just doing my job. Let me out of here.
Yes, I've heard that a lot. I was just doing my job. Well, look where this has led you now. And look where it has led our society. When will you realize that the people you follow are always to blame?
Look, mate, this is crossing the line, and they all deserved it.
No one deserved that. You have no clue what you did. You're an evil man. If you struggle, you'll make it more difficult on yourself.
What do you mean? You going to? Well, come on!
Arthur Blackwell, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention, when questioned, something we should later rely on in court.
I ain't gonna struggle, but you will be seeing my lawyer.
You will find no lawyer to represent you. Times have changed, my friend.
27-hour battery suspect is at 318 East.
it's just the end of its life.
It's just fear. Only fear, remember? Doesn't mean anything. They're still around, but we're the ones in charge.
I want to know who made that phone because they tossed that sucker good 6-7 feet and it still worked. No phone on the market today has been made like that.
We see the old order attempting to create more control in their well-planned experiment. But consciousness has awoken and humans have expanded to a much higher vibrational rate. The fear and danger they wanted now cannot be implemented, although a small number, enough of us, have awoken. And once that number increases, it will create a wave of unstoppable consciousness. Our power begins when we ask questions about the unlawful acts happening around us. Because when we ask questions, we eventually get answers. Where in your life do you question this reality? Or do you choose to be spoon-fed lies that destroy this incredible human experience?
I said that in the chat when the premiere happened yesterday, and Zach, the creator of this, said he had to do it.
A future world started forming after the truth surfaced. A resistance had grown strong and the plan had failed as it always had. But many horrors unfolded in the process. Most could not comprehend what had happened. When we are in denial, it will only make it grow stronger and feed our negative shadow. It will exist in an invisible form and still grow unless we shine a light on it. Rebellion against corruption is essential for our human growth.
All it took to turn the world upside down was someone's power trip and consciousness.
Yeah, well, we've changed that situation around now. It was a plan that they couldn't follow. Nothing can stop the strength and unity of humanity, even if we are broken in the process. Yeah, well, there'll be more events unfolding, you know, but people are finally awakening. You know, it's so easy for people just to get caught in a loop, and you saw it yourself. Then they eventually wake up, and they see what's going on.
The madhouse, to be continued.
Well, I think this is just a new beginning. Start something new. There were so many things calling for us to take back our sovereignty.
People just lived in the fear for a long time. I did it myself. It wasn't until I sorted my own shit out that my perspective changed. I'm so glad I sorted that shit with my dad.
Yeah, I'm glad you got away from him. That wasn't easy.
We just have to rely on our instinct. It's to take ourselves out of that situation and observe it, and then build on something new. Something was calling us to bring back our consciousness, you know? People had to see just how dark this darkness could get. But it hasn't disappeared. Not yet.
We must remember that it's our choice to create what future we want. We are creating our reality every day. We all have the freedom to speak and be who we wish. Freedom is the right to speak and express our truth, even when some do not like it, especially when it questions their reality too much. We have a short lifespan, and we must be aware that when we leave this planet, we will leave an imprint behind. So what imprint do you want to leave behind? What truth will you speak? Will you step out and live your highest truth every day? Or do you want to live in a box, stopping yourself from creating the beneficial future society that you desire in your heart?
Have been listening to Hidden Perspective, Dystopia or Utopia, Sci-Fi Series number 3. Remember, folks, stay more lifted and elevated than the problems that may present themselves to you today. I want to thank AM 420 Radio on Relevant app for simultaneously broadcasting the Fred Fury frequency. Be safe, stay sick, sanitize, wash your balls and your butthole, and hydrate.